Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Fantastic Four issue 41. And this definitely was a kind of packed issue as we got a lot of different stuff going on for the Reckoning War, and definitely a big kind of thing at the end. So, we start off and we see that Uatu is pretty much on the Watcher world, pretty much giving him a lowdown. The Reckoning's back, the Procilians, and that they're giving tech out everywhere and that the Watchers can watch no more. But then his father's like, "Hey, yeah, you want us to do something? I'm gonna imprison you and stop you from doing shit." And the Watcher's like, don't do that." We then get back to Reed and Ben as they're trying to figure out what to do. They need to protect the crystal because if it's a nexus of all reality, and that if they fuck with it, the universe could implode or worse. And whenever somebody says that like a destructive act can occur or worse, you always are like, what the fuck else could the worst be? So then we see that they're getting ready to take on the two big ones, and She-Hulk was going to go after Rapture, but of course the Thing goes after her instead, and she of course gloats that she's taken on a lot of champions, and it's like, oh no, you didn't just see like a peek at a later chapter. You saw the final chapter, and I destroyed you. And we then also see Jack Hart's fighting the other dude, uh, quibbling over if it's called zero radiation or zero energy, and he just kind of like flits around. Like they don't really give much. Rapture gets more of the character attention here, and how she is physically kind of capable of a lot of stuff, and she's got pretty much this lightsaber thing that we do learn a kind of weakness for. Ben's like, I'm not going to be stopping, and she pretty much kind of slices it at his hand, but it does kind of break some of his rock off. But what stopped it was his wedding band to Alicia, and she's like, "What was that? Like vibranium, adamantium? You won't be so lucky a second time." As Reed's like, "Ah, shit, he going down," and he gets a little bit sliced, but Reed is able to kind of like grab him, and then somehow, for some reason, She-Hulk's able to get hold of the like Wiley dude, and he's like, "Oh, the fun and everything." They're trying to figure out what's kind of going on, but of course, the Wrath of the Reckoning is like, "Why are you wasting time with these fools?" I'm like, "All right, cool, we'll go and do our shit." So they run up to the crystal. Reed has to keep a hold of Ben because he's the only thing kind of keeping him together at this point. And then they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go wherever we want to." And then the dude's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to some place that we owe to you, Jennifer Walters." And they're just like, "All right, let's see." And Jen has some kind of idea, and it's all her fault. And then shift over to Spire pretty much being attacked by the Annihilation Wave. We get some kind of nice stuff going on. Annihilus pretty much being like, tasty cosmic rays. It's like, well, you're a sight to behold. And then, of course, Johnny's coming in like the Human Torch and just taking out a lot of stuff. And they're like, holy shit, he is not fucking around. He does not like that Annihilus is on Sky and pretty much like cracks his ass. And he's like, why are you so fucking like on fire, man? And Johnny's able to pretty much like kibosh him and take this cosmic control rod and like, hey, leave your ships, get the fuck off here. And then he pretty much asks for he gives the control rod to the Overseer to like give them better handle of pretty much the cosmic kind of stuff. And he of course gives them the lowdown on the Reckoning and asks them for help. We get the idea that Sky is now soul bonded with somebody else, getting just the awkwardness of everything going down before Johnny asks them to kind of help them and answer the call to help save the universe. And they're like, yeah, okay, unparalleled onward. And they're like, we'll have to work on a new battle cry. It's like, it's not the kind of worst battle cry I've heard. We then start closing out the issue at Asgard as we see all of the heralds with even Thor and Silver Surfer there. Thor's like, what the hell's going on here? He's like, honor dictates I strike these invaders down. What stays my hand? Because you feel the call. Because as a herald, they're called here to resurrect this. And Thor's like, this is a vile compulsion. And the Silver Surfer's like, it's not in Galactus's call, my friend. It's the universe itself that requires this. And then Thor's like, the universe is mad! Like, and then they see that the Destroyer is called forth as well, because it has served as Galactus's herald at one point. And we see that the energies are helping to reform Galactus, and then the thing opens up, and it's like joining with Galactus and Destroyer armor. It's no longer the other things that it was, a Devourer or a Destroyer. What rises is now the Destruction, and he alone possesses the thing that would like call it to him, the Silver Surfer, and he pretty much is going to use the ultimate nullifier to lead it to the reckoning. And we see this giant thing of a Galactus Destroyer, the Destruction thing, following the Silver Surfer, which is, that's badass looking and just awesome. It's like, Destroyer armored Galactus. That was a development. Didn't see that coming. So, feelings on most of what happened. I didn't like that the Watchers got this information and their first instincts are to imprison Uatu. It's like, this is like your original sin kind of thing, as Uatu's pretty much told us, and you're like, we're going to stick to our oath. Yeah, but your other opponents don't have that oath, they're going to be interfering. Now granted, you can minimize your interference as much as possible, but they're going to be fucking some shit up that could pretty much destroy the universe, and good luck trying to live in a universe that is destroyed. I did kind of like the whole kind of beef down between the Thing and Rapture. That was pretty much the best part. Her kind of like brother dude didn't really do much. He just kind of flitted around and then got like captured by She-Hulk, and then was like, it's like there wasn't really much to him. Rapture at least was able, given a chance to like monologue and be like, yeah, I've fucked up a lot of champions and I'm gonna kill your ass, before Reed had to step in and be like, I gotta make sure that this dude doesn't die. Because, well, granted, he's his best friend, but like the Thing could be very helpful in stopping a lot of stuff as well. But it was kind of cool to see that his wedding ring saved his hand and everything like that. I was like, nice. Well, that gives us some very pertinent information that her certain weaponry can be stopped by vibranium, animanium, some kind of mixture of those metals. So that's important information. And that evidently Jen knows kind of where they can be doing their kind of thing. Johnny's bit was kind of cool to kind of show how powered up he is in his form, and how useful it is for him to pretty much take out an annihilation wave on his own, and then to bring the call of pretty much adventure to save the universe to Spire, and for them to answer in kind. And then, of course, seeing what happened with Galactus at the end, be like, yeah, that's going to be a big kind of thing. It was interesting that Thor, I did kind of like how Dan was able to kind of write Thor. It's always interesting to see, yeah, I'm reading this main series, but also to see another author kind of like how they kind of do it. And it worked very well. You could definitely feel it with the effects of what's been going on in Thor's kind of runs as well. So it didn't come out of left field. I was like, yeah, I dealt with being this herald, and then seeing Galactus being brought back up. And it actually would make sense that a Devourer would deal with some kind of thing. It's almost like an antibody dealing with a virus or some kind of disease or whatnot, and that the Reckoning could potentially be that kind of disease that Galactus would have to deal with to make sure that Eternity in the universe doesn't get destroyed. So it does make sense to kind of call him back, even though it's like, shit, gotta deal with this shit again. But then he's got a Destroyer armor thing, and who knows what kind of insanity that'll deal. As the fucking Silver Surfer's like, yeah, I gotta pretty much dangle this fucking carrot thing in front of it and point it in the right direction, otherwise we can get fucked. So we'll definitely have to see how that kind of shit works out. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.